52-year-old Sycamore native Tracy Picciariello is charged with aggravated cruelty to an animal. She's accused of shooting her dog during an argument with her husband. Deputies were called after 1 p.m. Monday to the 1600 block of West Motel Road. Deputies say the argument was about Picciariello's being jealous. The dog was given more attention to her husband than her, or from her husband than her. Investigators say the husband later shot the dog to put it down.